Why did you become a realtor?
I worked in various customer service jobs, so I wanted something a little bit more rewarding. Becoming a real estate agent, being able to help people find their forever homes or their investment homes, starter homes. It's very exciting, so a lot of fun.
Now, you've gotten off to a really good start in your real estate career. What has been the most rewarding part of this for you so far?
Helping people, especially like first-time home buyers, finding their first home. They're so excited. I'm so excited to help them. So it's a nice, rewarding part.
What is it that you think makes you different than other real estate agents?
I think that my various roles in customer service has helped me. So I like to ask a lot of questions and I want to know what I'm doing. So I think that helps a lot because I'm not going to steer people the wrong way. I'm going to make sure they have knowledgeable decisions and help them find the right home.
Last thing I'm going to ask you is, and I know these are words that you live by, but the mantra at CTBD Realty is?
People over paychecks, and do the damn thing.
And that's what we do.
Guess what? Now we're on Speaking of Real. Tonight.
Hopping.
Yeah. That was pretty. We finished over there, dude. I was like, oh my God, is Carlos gonna make it back?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were gonna kind of talk a little bit, but like then I noticed you were gone, so I'm like, uh-oh.
No, man, we were running out of time. Remember, we started at 9:00. So I was like, all right, we got to get going. Hey, Anna, how are you doing? Ovi, what's up? Hey, we got a show today. Pretty much, we know our wonderful president, greatest guy in the world, according to Carlos, had his State of the Union address last night. I mean... We think we could go on and on about what was good, what was not. How about you start, Carlos? Since I know you got it real good in details. I heard it. I wasn't really amused by it.
It's kind of weird. I think the first thing, and one of the things that's come up a lot today, Frank, and hear me out. For two years now, we've been told 20 different things about the virus, masks. Where's the toilet? Where's the toilet?
Oh, wait, don't worry. I got you. Just you just got to use the magic word.
I have to say that is an honor. I mean, you hear about how like most people like listen to music and whatever song is playing, you were test driving to it. If you're watching us in test driving, hey, that's awesome.
You know what's catchy? That's freaking great. But hey, Carlos, please say the name of the virus.
COVID-19. Frank, I would assume that the behavior of a virus, a situation regarding a virus, it doesn't change overnight, does it?
No.
No.
I think it evolves over time.
It evolves over time. Okay, but ironically, right before this awesome speech, COVID regulations are lifted. Just poof, gone. In DC, in the federal buildings, all gone. So you got to ask yourself now, what the hell? What? All of a sudden, it's okay. Just masks come off because Marbles is going to give a speech.
Well, no, I think a lot has to do with the fact that it's really it's COVID numbers have gone down.
He's what,
Okay.
78? I mean, even if COVID numbers have gone down, COVID shouldn't change. He's still 78. He's still our president, and he's in a room surrounded by people. You would probably think he might take a little, or those around him will protect themselves for him so he can speak. But instead, you had a room full of maskless people. And this was because rules were lifted right before a speech. That I just think that the timing of that is a bit uncouth. It's kind of shitty. And it really leads one to think how much of what we've been putting up with is just utter bullshit. Like, for you to just nilly-willy just shut down rules right before an important event, not to mention, Frank, I'm sure, you're not blind. You've seen, yeah, right, the secret vaccine. You've seen how, like, a lot of these get-togethers where the elites and the rich, they hang out together. There's never any masks. Never any masks.
I'm not rich and elite. And I've been hanging out without masks.
Right, but the very people who bark at us to wear them are the ones we see never wearing them when they're in groups. And so it was just kind of weird to just all of a sudden lift everything like COVID's gone, we're good. And then, again, sketchy, I get that. I just think it's the timing. It's the timing of it all. Like just last night, poof, gone.
Yeah, but look, Carlos, all right, let's look
Numbers
at this.
went down. Numbers went down at this time last year too, if I believe. Like they go down to the summer and they go up.
Okay,
again. So,
but my question to you is this: when was the last time how do I put it? When was the last time you wore a mask when you did not have to, in the sense of where you were not made to wear it? Because at work, because at your job you have to wear a mask, yes or no?
No.
Okay, so you don't wear a mask. Okay.
No.
I do.
I've got 3 shots into the wind. That shit's supposed to help, and that's what I'm banking on. So I've never paid for masks. Unless
at my
I'm in
job
the office or something and they tell me to, and there's a huge sign on the door, then I'll wear it. I'm not going to be an ass about it either.
Okay, so all right. So do you like wearing your mask?
No.
You hate wearing your mask, right?
Yeah,
okay, I'm the same way. I mean, look, I went to dinner on Friday night with my mom and my niece and nephews, right? Went with the girlfriend, her kids, and other people with us.
Right.
We met them there. My mom had her mask, and my niece and nephew had a mask. They choose to wear it. I was like, I ain't wearing it. I don't want to wear it. I'm vaccinated. I'm tired of wearing a mask. Number 1. 2, the COVID numbers have gone down. Before, if it would have been a year ago, I would have had my mask on. Okay, so your numbers go down. Yeah, maybe the timing was just right. Okay, but I mean, and let's say if it wasn't, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think
we're still getting messages about masks when the numbers were going down. It's just all of a sudden, right before a speech, all the rules and mandates that were pretty much in place in that area suddenly disappeared. So that to me, that's awful fishy. And then, of course, I'm sure everybody in America was keeping an eye on the blunders, the misspeak.
Yeah, he had a couple.
I mean, right off the bat, I know I posted, basically, I heard Uranian. I think everybody else heard Iranian. I think Uranian's funnier. We need to protect the people of Uranus. But, I just, it was a lot of it too. He, talking about walls that are not tall enough to stop a vaccine. It got painful toward the end. And I chuckled because, again, I know for 4 years I heard about how the Orange Man couldn't talk, but we seem to be okay with how bad this guy can talk or cannot talk. And so I laugh at the hypocrisy.
No. Hold on. The Orange Man, it's not that the Orange Man couldn't talk.
No, he couldn't. He wasn't a politician. I admit that.
Okay, the problem with him was that it's like you said, he wasn't a politician.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he spoke out of his 4-point contact.
That's a military term, isn't it?
Yes. And for those civilians that do not know what that means, is you're talking out of your ass.
But that's a 3-letter word.
Okay. So at the end of the day, you know what? It is what it is. Okay. His speech. It's the union address. I mean, let's get into that.
All right.
I mean, he mentioned something about gas.
Oh, yeah.
About fuel.
Yeah. Lowering the costs of gas and he said something about the way to lower rather than lower inflation, lower your costs. Like, how does that work if inflation is going up? Like, that made no sense at all.
That made no sense to me.
There's no damn way my costs are going down. How the hell do you do that? Furthermore, he went into Ukraine and started talking about how they stand for Ukraine and this and that. But I think since the beginning of this entire fiasco, Biden's been late to the party on Ukraine. Remember, he kept telling us that there's no chance they will. If it's a minor incursion, he's done a lot of things. I think that I'm not saying he caused this, but he definitely didn't hinder any of it. In fact, I think he might have helped.
Well, repeat what you just said. I lost my train of mind. Sorry, my train of thought completely. I just went blank. Okay, no, it's about hindering. Right. Okay, but either way, the U.S. is not going to get involved. They weren't going to get involved. Period.
Yeah, one thing is not get involved. I think another thing is sending signals out that make it clear what you're going to do. Remember, one of Trump's things was to never publicly say what you were going to do because he never wanted to show his hand to adversarial leaders. Remember? Correct. Biden's an open book. And Putin's been reading it like every step of the way.
I mean, I think you can't show your hand anyways. I mean, in that case, I think you're completely correct.
And so now now he likes to talk tough on sanctions. I know we just did the other show, and I think Jimmy said that the oil purchasing is going to stop. I haven't seen that anywhere. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I just haven't seen it. So I hope that's the case because one of the biggest things right now is the fact that we're still buying 700,000 barrels of oil from the country we're putting sanctions on. So we're stopping your ability to use money and we're still paying you money. How ass backward is that? So, yeah, but inflation is still inflation. Like that is due to resources and all that. And that's a lot of that has to do with decisions he's made. So who's drinking what drugs?
I think she's talking about when I completely lost my frame of thought. So yeah.
So he's shown quite a few hands that have not helped in this matter, and by constantly not saying that he's not going to get involved, at least not militarily, which we agree. I'm not arguing that. It's emboldened Putin a lot, and sure, I don't know if he expected the rest of Europe to start taking the actions they have. But he's kind of been leading like from behind Germany's shadow. Like the EU does something, Biden's like, I'll do it too. So we're back to this leading from behind ordeal. And it's kind of made him look like sheepish and kind of slow to the dance every time. Whether that works or not, I guess we'll see. I know the Ukrainians are asking for more, and I think we're finally getting there. We're slow on this. So, but he talks tough, and nobody was buying it last night. Nobody was buying it last night. And then he starts, like I said in the other show, he actually kind of started sounding like Trump, which I find funny for those who hated him for 4 years. But Biden starts talking about securing the border, which is absolutely what he has not done. He starts talking about funding the police, which is what his party has completely been against. And he starts talking about, what was the other thing he said? The border, the police. We have to build American. We have to do this in America. All this crap in America, America, America. And yet, I know for his first year, he was doing things to slash American jobs, cutting projects, stalling projects. And so now he wants to do and build America all of a sudden? What kind of bullshit is that? Like, and who's he trying to kid? I don't know who he's fooling. So, I don't know, man. It just sounded like a whole bunch of wish-wash, mishmash. Bottom line is, 31 Democrats are ready to retire from the House because they know they're going to get their asses kicked this November. And he had to come out sounding like some kind of centrist, which he has not been behaving like or doing this entire time. And it was
maybe now he'll change.
Nobody bought it. Nobody bought his crap yesterday. Go on.
Well, you don't know that. Maybe some people would drink the Kool-Aid.
Okay,
who's to say? Who's to say that nobody bought it?
People, a decent share of these poor souls did buy that Kool-Aid, but whatever.
I mean, hey, it's always people could be, buying the Kool-Aid, drinking the Kool-Aid. I mean, look, do I think where he's coming out, buy America, build American? Those were Trump words.
I mean, that sounds kind of America first-ish to me.
Okay. I'm not denying that. But I never saw Biden go against that, period. Now, we're gonna say he slashed jobs because he didn't go on projects because he slashed projects, right? He cut projects, right? Mm-hmm. So let's see, as Victoria Lang on Evaluating Standpoint, let's hit the elephant real quick, right? Let's hit the elephant in the room on this. The Keystone Project.
That's one.
Right?
But that
okay. Yeah. But when you look at the Keystone Project had not even started. So he didn't really cut jobs there.
Right. He just eliminated the creation of more.
But he didn't cut jobs.
Right.
Okay, so in that case, he's talking about creating jobs. There have been a lot of jobs,
and that's another one that he actually discussed. But I'll let you finish.
There have been a lot of jobs, and then there's also people that are not taking jobs because they're living off the money that they're getting from the government.
Yeah.
Okay, mm-hmm. They're living off those extra checks that they want to give. Okay, the stimulus checks were supposed to help the economy. I think did more damage to the economy, and because people don't want to work, people don't want to do shit.
Again, big government is very easy. It's an easy metaphor. It goes to that whole thing when you see the sign about "Don't feed the bears." It's the same thing. Don't feed the goddamn bears.
All right. So when you're looking at all that, you're like, okay, now what? Where do we go from there? Yeah, but the people who really need the help don't get the help.
I mean, everybody got help. It's just, I think more and Ethan, I'm going to say it's not that the people who needed the help didn't get the help. It's the people who didn't need the help got help.
Got the help.
That's the problem. People who didn't need help got help. And
well, the thing is that everybody got a check.
I got the checks too. I didn't ask for them, but I mean, I've always said, what have I always said? That's my goddamn money anyway. I'll take it. I'll take it back. I'll do better with it than you will. And so, right, they've exhausted, but you had people actually like living off that lamb, and now it's gone. And so, you know, unfortunately, I guess the people who were taking advantage are now caught flat-footed and screwed. But it wasn't a great idea entirely. There wasn't enough incentive to bring people back to work. People were just kind of riding on it until it stopped, and now they're like, oh, whoops. So, but
yeah, but you know what? But the jobs are there.
The jobs have always been there, and I kind of
the jobs are there. The problem lies is that since the jobs are not all paying what they should be paying. Like I keep on getting, and it's funny, I get a text message every 2-3 weeks. Hey Frank, we're hiring in the Kendall area. Okay, afternoon hours. I'm like, yo, that'll be great because I hate waking up in the mornings. Okay. So
me too.
when I go ahead, I see that, I'm like, oh, cool. And my first question is, what is the pay?
Go naturally.
You want to know what I'm giving? $12.50 an hour.
Go work in the McDonald's, man. They start at 15 now.
Well, that's what I told this individual. I said, hey, listen, I could go to Target. Some jobs. Today I sent him a message. I go, some jobs at Target right now are paying $24 an hour, and I guarantee you, I'm not gonna have to work and kill myself doing this $12.50 an hour job at a warehouse in Kendall. Guess what the response was?
What?
I'm still waiting for it.
So here's the thing, Frank. A lot of this inflation has been caused by cutting energy production.
Stop.
Nope. Let me finish. By cutting energy production, we're now depending on other countries to provide us the energy. That costs more money. That costs companies more money to get stuff in here. We can argue about the profit margins of companies. I don't run a company, so I honestly don't know. And I honestly don't have the right to decide who or how much profit margin someone should or shouldn't be getting. That's really not our business. But
we should ask Joe what his profit margin is.
Put that aside. If energy costs are going up, and we're depending now on other nations to provide us energy because we refuse to produce our own, or at least we've cut down on our own production, then the cost of getting things here and things like that also goes up. So everything is becoming more expensive just on that alone.
Yeah, but you mentioned inflation. Inflation's going on, and everybody is up all over the world. It's not just us. Everybody's numbers are up. It's not just the U.S.
I mean, with the war now going, yeah, but see,
no. This is prior. This is prior to the war that was going on.
What changed? Because prior to Biden, and again, this isn't a Trump thing. I'm just being, matter of factly.
A trompita.
This was a booming economy. We had a bunch of people working. Our unemployment was super low. We were producing more. There was more stuff out there, keeping costs down. That's not a secret. So we're cutting costs. Being a major producer, we cut our own production. We're now depending on other nations, rogue ones, to provide us. I'm not saying it's exclusive. We still do produce. We're just not producing like we used to. And so things are going up again. Now with war, they're going to go up even more. I mean, I think here, I can't imagine Miami where you're at. Here, I saw 360 today. How are you doing down there?
Yeah. 359.
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw today. 359. Dude, remember what I told you? Between 16 and 20, I never saw gas hit 3. Never. And I don't want to hear this nonsense about the economy, because at least 17, 18, and 19, the economy in this country was through the roof. We were not paying $3 a gas. In Florida, I can't speak for other states. I know some places have other, tax systems, and they might be a little bit higher. We were not paying $3 a gas in this state. And so, these are things that have happened since he arrived, and they're only going to get worse now with this stupid war. And then I think you also have to wonder, and I'll ask your opinion on this, because I have my own, obviously. Do you feel or think that Putin has taken these actions now because he's in office?
I don't know, man. That's hard to tell. It's hard to judge. Maybe, maybe he saw it as, now's my time, because I don't think they're going to do anything. But so, I think regardless of whoever was in, he was gonna attack.
I disagree.
I know that. I figured you would.
I don't think so, man. I think honestly he sat back and waited for 4 years, because during those 4 years he was smart enough to know not to. He lost 300 soldiers on some sort of mercenary mission from 59 missiles thrown at him by Trump. He knew right away, this dude's nuts. And again, remember, Trump never showed his hand. So he made the world aware that he was unpredictable and you didn't know where he was coming from. That's why I remember when we first started doing this, I told you that all these these bad players were quiet. They were quiet. Now what do we hear on the radio and the TV all the time? Ukraine, Taiwan, North Korea is shooting missiles up again. Iran is they're ready to they're talking about giving money back to Iran again on some crap that they think that Iran is not going to build nuclear weaponry. Like, we're doing the same nonsense we did before 2016. It wasn't working back then. Here we are again, though. And so, I don't know, Frank. I don't know. And then, so I think the overall deal for me with the speech last night was this. Outside of the usual fumblings of Mr. Joe, and to address Sketchy's concern about his impediment has never been an issue for the 40 plus years he was in Congress. He's just really bad now. And it's probably because he's old, but it's terrible. And we were all, I think what highlights it more than anything is we were all complaining about not having a leader that spoke like a leader. And now we have a leader who speaks, he's just bumbling. And that's got nothing to do with impediment. It could be more than that.
I don't, you know what? No. Let's look. The guy yesterday spoke a good game.
He did?
I think he said what had to be said. Now, whether he's going to go through with it or not and say yes and keep with what he's saying is one thing. Okay? Can he stumble through words? Yeah, he can. He has a speech impediment.
Dude, that's an excuse. I'm not buying it. I mean, I get that.
Dude, look, that's just like right now. I'm doing this freaking show and then I start to stutter on a constant basis. What? I'm not doing a good show because I stutter?
Nah. You're making it something that isn't. Joe Biden has ran his mouth for 40 years. That impediment didn't just show up.
I'm not saying it just showed up.
And so
I've stuttered all my life. I've stuttered since I've known you.
Yeah, but dude, stuttering and getting your words completely mixed up are two different things. And that's not
No, because you know what happens? When you stutter, you're trying to find a word to replace that word that you're stuttering with. So when you're doing that, you're going to come up with a word that you think or maybe not, and you know what? You get screwed because you're going to say a word that doesn't make sense, and then people are looking at you like,
for every racist crack that man has ever brought about to his universe, to our universe, it's because of his impediment. Is that the excuse? When he told people that you go to a 7-Eleven and you're guaranteed to find an Indian behind the counter, was that an impediment? No, those are excuses. I'm not buying them, and I'm not buying it now either. I'm not buying it.
What did it mean by Indian?
He made a comment years ago about you can't go into a 7-Eleven without finding an Indian guy or an Indian person behind the counter. Like, really?
Let me ask you something. Do you really think that was racist?
It's insensitive, and by any, you know what? I'm going to answer it to you this way. I'm going to answer it to you this way. If he had an R behind his name, then it would have been. That's my point.
If he had a what? I'm sorry?
If he had an R behind his name, it would have been racist. But it's Joe Biden and his gaffes and the excuses.
Oh, my God.
Crap.
Get out of here.
Crap. So anyway.
But did he say it in a racist way?
Are you seriously going to dissect it like that? No, did he say it in a racist way? What the hell? Okay, so Frank, when he told black folks that if they didn't vote for him, they weren't black, was that just Joe being Joe? Was that a speech impediment or was it racist? You tell me.
That was, I opened my mouth and I stuck my foot in it.
Right. Now, if he was a Republican, would it have been racist?
Nope.
Oh, you see, you're
It would have been, I opened my mouth and I stuck my foot in it.
You know, if everybody had your objectivity, life would be great. But you and I both know that's bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah.
So
who knows?
And so
just real quick to go back to what you're saying, between 2016 and 2020, the highest gas went. Okay, that here in Florida. Here in Florida.
Or at least
I'm talking about Florida. I'm not talking about anywhere else. Okay, it was $2.78.
Damn.
That is the highest that I saw it go, and that
and I'm not even. You know what?
And that was in 2018.
Okay, and I bet you it was during the summer.
278 in May.
Yes. All right. So that's when the summer blends kick in and gas goes up. We didn't break 3, Frank. I mean, thank you for pulling that out. We didn't break 3.
The last time we broke, you want me to tell you the last time we broke 3?
I'm going to say it was around 2014 or 15.
2014. Okay. And it was. Hey, listen, I'm feeding you. I'm feeding you in. In 2014, the highest gas in the state of Florida was $3.62. And that was, again, in May.
It's always going to be around May or June.
In December 2013 was $3. No, the highest was in July. $3.50. No, the highest was in March. $3.70 in 2013. Who was president in 2011? That was Obama still, right? All right. You know what? I'm gonna end my gas prices. All right, goodbye.
Our production matters, man. We were producing a lot, and it does help the price of oil. It did. There's no arguing that. So, and as a result of all that production, price of energy was down. Therefore, costs of everything was down, and our wages were even going up. But that's a whole other argument.
Okay, you know what? Let me ask you a question. And I heard this actually. I'm gonna play a couple videos right quick of what I gathered, from Biden's speech a minute, and we're gonna see how well we depict this. He said something here about united, right? So let's see here.
Okay.
We prepared. He thought the West and NATO wouldn't respond. He thought he could divide us at home, in this chamber, in this nation. He thought he could divide us in Europe as well. But Putin was wrong. We are ready. We are united, and that's what we did. We stayed united. We prepared extensively and carefully. We spent months building coalitions of other freedom-loving nations in Europe and the Americas, from America to the Asian.
So, are we really united?
I mean, of course, united and prepared to me are two very different things. I believe we are united. I don't think there's anybody that's sitting back saying, maybe Ukraine kind of deserves it. I don't think anybody is doing that. Now, were we prepared? Hell no. That's bull crap. That man stood there, made excuses, talked about, well, we'll see. He will seed this entire process until shit got real. And then all of a sudden he was like, well, we'll do sanctions. Then he starts watching what Europe does, and then he follows suit. There was no we were prepared. We were utterly unprepared, if anything. And I think we were gambling on them not doing anything, and it backfired on them. But, so, no. United, yeah. I mean, you would look ridiculous if you were against the situation. Ukraine, no matter what you think about Ukraine, don't get me wrong, Ukraine is a sovereign nation. Yes, they have a history of corrupt government, but they didn't do anything. They really didn't do anything. This is just an all-out attack. So if you're honestly thinking that there's some semblance of like a good reason for why this is happening, you got issues. But for him to lie to us and say we were prepared, that's crap. Utter crap. And that's what I took from that little bit. We were not prepared.
No, definitely. I agree. I don't think we were prepared at all.
No.
I mean, what is there really to prepare for in this part?
I mean, I guess you that's a good question. I mean, I'm not a strategist and I don't know what powers we have, but he kept talking about sanctions. You know what? Maybe he should have done them sooner. I don't, and if he didn't attack him, we look bad for it. I'd rather err on the side of caution than be like, okay, we're going to do it now. We got you. We got sanctions, even though you've blown up 3 cities already and you've murdered 1,000 people. I got you with sanctions.
Well, going with that,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that do you think Putin thought that he would be able to take Ukraine super easy, and he obviously has not.
He lied. Remember, he lied, of which is Putin. Remember what Putin was always saying, or at least he was decrying that there were 2 particular regions in Ukraine that he was going to go after, and the Donbas region. 2, I guess, rogue regions, where they're kind of like Russian separatists. Basically, he thought these were 2 spots that he could take over, and that's all he was touting. That has turned into an all-out attack on the entire country, pretty much.
Yeah.
And we were dumb enough to take him at his word, I guess, because we sat back and did nothing. So,
well, my question here is, why are we going to let this guy take that region over anyways?
Great question. I mean, you could say the same thing about Crimea when he did that. And I think the only thing I have for you politically is that Ukraine is not a member of NATO, so that kind of puts them in a tough spot. That's kind of why Europe is like cheerleading from the sidelines, shoving missiles at them, but not doing anything because they're not NATO. I mean, if Putin attacks a NATO nation, then all of a sudden we're all going to be at war because it's a NATO nation. What bothers me is this, Frank, and this is an important lesson going forward. And I think every country after what's happened here is going to definitely take note. You ever heard of the Budapest Compromise? I did some research. I heard about it. Basically,
I've heard, but I don't know.
In 94, Ukraine, when they had broken out from the Soviet Union, I guess due to their location, they had the 3rd largest amount of nukes. And so some kind of compromise, the Budapest Compromise, was created where basically the United States, Russia, and the UK swore to protect Ukraine so long as they surrendered their nukes. How has that worked out for them? And this is why you never give up your nukes. Or, if you want me to reduce it to a more civilian stature, this is why you don't give up your weapons. Bottom line, man. So now they were banking. There's literally a contract out there where us, the United States, Russia, the people bombing them, and the UK, a nearby nation, were supposed to protect them from this very thing. And here we are watching and sanctioning. If if I'm Ukraine, I'm furious because we made that agreement. We gave up our most powerful deterrent at the behest of your protection, and you're just standing there sanctioning. Yeah, man, that is a bad feeling. And so now you got to ask yourself, Frank, also, how does that make us look? We went into a contract depending on your protection, and you're nowhere. You're nowhere. I don't know how you think that is, but I think that's crappy. Again, I've been from the beginning where the less war, the better. That's one reason why I was very happy with the last 4 years. But again, I lost my train of thought. Essentially though, we were part of a contract, and now we've basically reneged on it. It's crap, dude. It's ugly.
Well, look, Sketchy
ugly, and it doesn't make us look good. And standing there talking about we are united, Europe standing together. Crap! You made a promise to these people, and in my eyes, you broke it.
Did he make the promise?
It's in the contract. It's in the compromise. And I think Putin was there in '94. If I'm not, I know he's been there for so long. I honestly don't remember when he started. But it's still part of Russia. Russia's on that compromise, and so are we. And one country's doing the attacking, and we're just kind of sanctioning at the behest of Europe. We look sad right now, to be honest with you.
So what do you say? We should go over there and fight Ukraine's war?
So that's the issue, Frank. I'm no fan of new wars, and I don't think we should go, but we did sign a deal. We did, we agreed to a compromise. They gave up their most powerful deterrent. My question to you, Frank, is this. It's not about whether we should go fight another war in another country. It's should we honor our word? That's what we did.
Okay. All right. So Carlos says, if I give my guns away, he's going to come fight next to me, right? So I gave my guns away, and now I have a situation where I have about 10 people come at me with guns, and all I have are rocks. Is Carlos going to come help me throw rocks, or is Carlos going to run?
Well, were you depending on Carlos to come defend you? Did you actually sign
something
with Carlos?
Yes.
Carlos better be there to defend you.
Yes, because Carlos said he was going to be there to defend me.
And I should be there.
So now Carlos has to come die and lose his life and throw rocks against guns.
If I wasn't prepared to do that, if I wasn't prepared to do that for you, I would have never signed the contract with you. That's the bottom line.
I'm sorry, but I don't see contract or no contract. All right, call me whatever the hell you want, but I'm not going to go ahead if I'm the president. Okay, go ahead and risk our troops, our soldiers, our people's lives.
Well, then why
over a war that's not ours?
Why sign
now,
it?
My question to you is this. Because I don't know this piece of paper you're talking about, so I'm a little curious on it.
It's got
okay. So my question to you is this: was it something signed by Biden?
No. This was before Biden. This was back in '94.
Okay, so why does Biden have to honor it? Because Biden didn't sign it.
Frank, by your logic, then why do we even honor NATO then? We've been there since World War II. It's old. We should just go away. No big deal, right? Biden didn't sign it. No.
Might as well.
That's not how it works. As I said, I'm just going to paint it like this, Frank. I'm not out for new endeavors. I don't want to go seeking out, protecting, and fighting new territories.
Right.
And I honestly don't want to send people to Ukraine either. But it does look really bad that we are part of a compromise with a nation that gave up their largest security tool. We promised to protect them from this very thing. And look, to be fair, it's not just us. One of the nations in that compromise is doing the attacking. This is ugly all the way around. Basically, Ukraine has been tossed out there in the cold. And so it looks bad on all fronts, but I can only speak for the United States because that's where I live. We promised to protect them. Why did we get rid of wet foot, dry foot? Too many Cubans vote Republican. That's why. Obama wasn't happy about that, so he told them to stop.
But again, were we the only ones that signed that treaty or
no,
that
there
paper?
were three nations. And look, no. The
Okay,
same thing goes
so
for,
where are the other two nations?
one of them is doing the attacking. The other one is also watching, just like we are, just doing sanctions. No, it's ugly. It's ugly all the way
So we
around.
are. So okay.
It's not a-
so
this
we,
is not a
so we haven't
so-
turned our
US.
backs. We haven't turned our backs. We're we're imposing sanctions.
I just said it, Sketchy.
Yeah, we just went to
Russia was one of them. They're bombing, and the UK is the other one. They're sanctioning, and this is for them too. But again, I live here. I mean, it doesn't look good for any nation, to be honest with you, especially Russia. They're the ones that are like, "Ha ha! Now we got you." But
They don't have us. Russia doesn't have us.
No. They've got Ukraine. They were part of the contract to protect Ukraine, and
Gotcha.
now they're bombing Ukraine. It's ugly. It's sad. And if I was Ukraine, I would feel like sold out is an understatement at this point. Really.
So let's go on to this next one. Trying to I don't remember what this one is, but I know he's talking about something, and I will figure it out now. No, I don't remember.
That's perfect. I know he's talking about something.
Because you know what? This is the one I loaded up right before I jumped into Divided We Stand. So
All
give me
right.
and I'll know exactly what it is now when I hear it. And my question for you on it.
All
Those
right.
countries like the United Kingdom, the free world is holding him accountable, along with 27 members of the European Union, including France, Germany, Italy, as well as countries like the United Kingdom, Canada, Japan, Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and many others. Even Switzerland are inflicting pain on Russia and supporting the people of Ukraine. Putin is neither, along with our allies, we are right now enforcing powerful economic sanctions. We're cutting off Russia's largest banks from the international financial system.
Okay, so I think that just tied into what we were talking about.
Right. So listen, you gotta I take political speak lightly. Like, I'm sure all of the nations he listed have done something, Frank, but it could be something as simple as, you know what, no more Russian flights. Japan's done something. Put them on the list.
We did that.
I don't know who's done what exactly. My thing more than anything is who's providing them weapons. I mean, if we're not going to go in there and fight, are we at least providing them the armaments? And I believe we are.
I believe we are.
But even if you provide them armaments, I mean, their military still isn't big enough. This is like, honestly, David Goliath.
Yeah, but no, definitely. I mean, but look, I'll tell you this. I know that.
I'm not discounting that, but
I don't think Russia was, or even the Russian army was prepared for this.
I'm not.
I know.
Yeah, there's speculation that Putin didn't even prepare them. I think this is speculation. Stuff I hear, I just bring it up, and anyone feel free in the chat room to verify. That's why we love our comment section. I think he was actually telling them that this was just going to be a military drill. I don't think they were even aware that this was going to be a real attack. So I don't even know what Putin told them. But it's going to be guerrilla, and this is going to be ugly. And then you got to wonder. There's also talk of Putin's mental health, and he's deteriorating. And I don't know how much of that is true, but if it is,
NATO's moving military equipment as many as 22,000 more troops into member states bordering Russia and Belarus to reassure them and enhance deterrence. Okay.
Right. So that tells me, Sketchy, that's I read that two different ways. We're moving soldiers into Belarus, but no one's going into Ukraine. So it's either A, we're showing support, or B, we're basically telling Putin, don't pass this line, way the hell back here. You can handle all that. which to me, China translates to nothing. I remember when Biden kept saying, we've got 8,500 troops over there. Doing what? Nothing. It's a show. It's a show. Now, if he crosses any of those other lines and sets a nail on a NATO territory, then all those troops that Sketchy's talking about suddenly become active. It's a show. I don't see how that's effective outside of just really show. So the weapons are most important. Like the president said, oh, I got to give the president props. Have you heard some of the things he's been saying? Like he told the United States basically, look, they offered him like an escape, and he's like, I don't need a ride, I need weapons. Like he's staying there, he's fighting it out. That's some crazy leadership. I mean,
that's that's lead by example leadership.
You'd be hard pressed not to admire the testicular fortitude on that man right now. That's crazy, because most leaders would have hightailed it and then been leading remotely somewhere. So
Biden mentioned something called the PRO Act. It's a union base.
Okay.
Where people could have unions and create unions. What are your thoughts about having a union? Are you part of a union at work?
Well, in education, unions are everything. I have, I'm honestly 50-50 on unions, Frank, because on one hand, I do believe workers need protections. If you don't, bosses and companies and whatnot can become abusive. The problem is, though, man, I've seen what happens when unions get abusive. Like, you can have someone who's like completely negligent at their job and they just don't get fired. I'm talking about government workers, aren't I? So the word union is honestly a double-edged sword. I would like to see it where unions are more focused on protections, but it doesn't become an abusive relationship. But that's the natural struggle of the company versus the union. So each one is going to try to get what they can to protect their members. I don't know. Honestly, I can't give you that's a coin that I could toss up and it will land on its side, because I've seen the ugly and the pretty of what unions are. And it's like, I don't know.
Look, I could tell you that if I'm a regular employee at a company, by hell means hell yes.
Yeah.
But you see, what happens is when you're with the union, and if you want to move up within the company and you want to be supervisor, manager, then you're no longer part of the union.
That's true. Also, it seems like unions for low-level workers.
Right. So what happens is when you become that manager, and you're like, hey, I need you to stay, and they say no, there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? There's nothing you can do about it, because you can't make anybody work past 40 hours. I get it. But as you know, here in the state of Florida, it's a no-fault state for anything. I could fire you and just give you a reason of, hey, I just don't want you to work here.
Right.
And guess what's going to happen? You're going to go somewhere. You're going to go to the state. They're going to give you unemployment because I was unjust and unfair firing. You know what? So be it. I don't have to give you a reason why to fire you. Now, what happens with the union? You can't fire the individual. You can't fire the individual, but you need a really, really big paper trail.
Yeah, you need like documentation.
Right. So
I'm okay.
As an employee, I'm okay. As a manager, I'm not okay with it. Because you know what? You fall into that. I'm at your mercy. Because hey, look, I need you to please stay another hour. Can you please stay? I need coverage here. I can't do it by myself. Come on. Nope, I don't want to stay. I can't stay. And there's nothing to say to the employee, hey, you know what? I'll help you out later. No, you don't want to stay, you don't stay, and that's it. So it's pretty shitty.
Right.
Whichever way. So it's
tricky. It's definitely a tricky situation, and I don't know which way to go on that, because I understand and appreciate what unions do. I think if I'm going to have an issue with the union, it's the ones who force you to pay, because you do have those. And
unions everywhere.
Right. Well, but some of them actually force you to pay whether you're a member or not. I think I've heard, like, you're here at this job, you help the union, it's part of your check. Like, no. And And then you have the ones that like take your money, tell you they're going to represent, and they kind of really don't. And so you're kind of wondering, why am I paying these dues? And that happens too. So you got to be careful. But yeah, man, that honestly, Frank, I could not give you a yay or nay on that, because I agree with why they exist. And I can see the ugly side of when they become too powerful, how that doesn't help like your job. It doesn't help your company. And you know, it could hinder your company if you've got people who you feel should no longer be working for you and you can't get rid of them because of a union. That's 50-50. Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go on to why Frank was put away. Or did we talk about that? No, we spoke about that. We touched up on it before. Yes.
Yes, that was on the other show. So now we're here. So, ladies and gentlemen, Frank has been put in Facebook jail for the third time. He is now a repeat offender and a career Facebook criminal. Oh, Frank.
Oh, God.
You have the worst luck, man.
Repeat.
Give us the deets,
offender.
man. What did you do? What happened?
What? Dude, you know what? So I think I mentioned it last week with Anna a little bit. We touched upon it, I think.
Don't drop the Facebook soap, Frank.
So there we go. Repeat offender.
There it is. Career criminal. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Don't drop the soap. Yeah. So what happens?
They'll be in between your grades. It's a nice little plug right there, Nita. I got you.
Yeah. So I'm part of a Jeep group, right?
Uh-huh.
One of the guys puts a comment. You know, try to picture this. He's trying to park his Jeep in open space.
Okay.
Right? So some guy from behind him gets out of a car, walks to a parking space, and stands in the middle of the parking space, blocking the space for the people behind him.
Oh, I've seen those assholes. Yes.
So my buddy's saying, hey, what should I do? Should I run him over? Should I just pretend like it didn't happen and keep going? So I simply put, I will beat his ass. I will kick his ass. And whatever, 5 minutes later, bloop, we are account restricted. Damn. Because of my comment. I go ahead and I start arguing it with Facebook because I'm like, look, I didn't threaten anybody. Okay? Because I did not. All I did was what? Say what I would do to that individual. Okay? They're striking you out, Frank. You'll be serving a 25 to life sentence in penitentiary if you. I bet.
In San Quentin. Facebook.
But, you know, I was only saying what I would do. So, hey, Mark Zuckerberg and your filters, go fuck yourself. Okay? No, for real.
I agree.
You know, before you put me in fucking jail, look into it a little deeper. And then all of a sudden, because I went against community standards, I got to go through a fucking appeal board that, you know what? Today's March 2nd. I filed this 10 fucking days ago, and you goddamn idiots still haven't responded. So if this was a life and death situation, Facebook, you fucking failed, you dumb fucks.
Tell us how you really feel, Frank.
Where did you go, Frank? I went to Georgia.
No, she says she can't see you. He's right here.
I'm right here.
Yeah, he's here. Don't know what happened there.
Anna, did you lose your computer again? Because I see myself.
Yeah, I mean, I can see his mug too.
So, you know what I'm gonna do? You want to know what I'm really gonna do?
Elizabeth.
I think Elizabeth just got on. or maybe she's been on.
She heard what she needed to hear.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you what I'm gonna go get on to, and it's a new site. Okay, that I still have to wait.
We're still waiting.
Okay, and
That's
here
right.
it is. Come join Truth Social.
Truth Social, baby.
All right. I'm still waiting to get on, but hopefully there I can say, hey, I'm going to kick your ass or I'm going to beat your ass. And you know what? And I'm not going to get put in jail.
You let me know, man. If Trump actually censors you for that, I'll walk out with you, man, because I ain't going to stand for that shit either.
Yeah, me neither, man. Fuck that shit. You know, who the hell do they think they are to freaking censor me like that?
Damn right. Oh,
You
for the record, everybody, I did get a little insight on this Truth Social thing, and Frank's ahead of me on the wait list. That's saying something.
You know, honestly, I got onto it just because I'm dying to see what this is. And I'm trying to figure out what the
excited. I mean, I hope it works out. I really do. I mean, like I said, I did find you an article where it's not him, but the platform apparently banned someone or some content that was making fun of the brand. And I mean, that's exactly what I don't want from Truth Social. So I hope that doesn't.
Well, my question is this: why
I don't
is
know
it
what
taking
was said.
so
I didn't
long?
even see the post, so I don't know.
But why is it taking so long to get into Truth Social?
That's a great question. I mean, I understand things getting, taking off. I even heard Gmail did this too. Like, honestly, man, when you have this large mass of people wanting to do something, takeoff is not always smooth. You remember, you remember, oh, this is a good one. You remember when the Obamacare website took off?
The what?
The Obamacare website. You remember that debacle?
Yeah.
$500 million, I think. And that was just falling apart for the first few I don't know if it was weeks or something. It was a disaster of a startup. And that's, that's kind of sometimes par for the course with new programs or new websites or new anything. So I'll give it time. I'm 40,000 people behind you, so I'm hoping you can fill me in when you get in first. And we'll see.
Dude, I'm hoping to get onto it one day. I don't know what's going on. But I would tell you this. Trump's Truth Social verifies white nationalist Nick Fuentes account.
Blah, blah. Listen, Frank.
So I don't know what he means by that.
I don't agree with white nationalists, but they have a right to speak just like anyone else. I don't care.
So what is what is a white nationalist? Explain that.
I don't know. To me, honestly, they're leprechauns. I don't know of them. I mean, I'm sure there's a few out there that exist, but in my world, they're all leprechauns. They're all leprechauns. That's it. They're just jumping around a pot of their white gold and mad at stuff. They like to make it seem like it's this rampant thing, like you walk outside and there should be 5 of them hanging out at the corner. No. So I don't know. But if you utter the words freedom or patriot, sir, you might be a white supremacist.
Yeah.
That's crap. That's crap. Well,
so I'm trying to see real quick what I'm just trying to see if it will say what the holdup is. But either way, forget it. We'll catch.
No, man, I'm hoping by next week though we're on. I'll even post you. I'll find you like, dude, post your truth.
Hell yeah. Carlos, any final thoughts today? Or for the week?
I'm going to just say it the way the president said it, man. Go get him! Whatever the hell that means. You know what? My bad. That's a speech impediment too. Shit. Go get him, Frank.
Hey, look, you know what? Speaking of Real is brought to you by Clover Crest Media. You want to start your own podcast? You know what? come check out clovercrestmedia.com. We have all types of podcasts. You name it, sports, news. You got, of course, Speaking It Real. You have wrestling podcast, basketball, and you have our newest addition to the Clovercrest family, In Between the Gray, which airs on Monday nights at 9 o'clock, brought to you by Anna and Mel. Come check it out. For you women that want to be part of a woman's show, this is the show to be. I would tell you this week they're going to be talking about nipple hair, bleaching anal hairs, and hair in the rear end. And they're going to have a special guest, some transgender person. So you know what? Come check them out on Monday. I will see you guys next. Yeah.
In Between the Gray. That's a new color. I'm not even sure what's in there.
Dude, I don't even know. I just say what I'm told. You know, I gave them their plug-in. And hey, with us, you might not agree with what we're speaking, or you might agree with what we're speaking. But I will tell you this. At the end of the night, Frank and Carlos are Speaking It Real. We'll catch you next Wednesday.
Good night, everybody.
Hello, my name is Joe Aguirre. I'm the president of Clovercrest Media Group. And here at CMG, we have a wide variety of podcasts, including sports shows like Keys to the City, The Roll Call, Throwing Jabs, All Four Downs, and Jawing About the G-Men. And great true crime shows like Sticky Week, Crimes and Consequences, Ivy League Murders, and Burn, the Unsolved Murder of David Eichmann. You can find all these podcasts and so much more by visiting clovercrestmedia.com.